Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 575. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is the 22nd of May, 2022. Our friend Alicia had a birthday this past week. And
She's 42?
She's 42. And
Nice.
So I texted her and I was like, what's it like to be the answer to everything?
Aw, that's a good Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah. Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. And my husband Michael left to go pick something up. He actually left the house, so it's pretty important, something at Home Depot. So the dogs may bark in a minute.
Whenever he gets back.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a week. Laura and I actually
We went someplace.
We left the house late, and by late I mean it was within an hour of sundown.
It was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah. We went to see a movie.
In a cemetery.
Yeah.
We live in just south of Memphis, Tennessee, and there is a huge historic cemetery called Elmwood, and they do a lot of cool things. And one of the cool things they do is they have a big roof that's slightly angled to one of their historic cottages, and they show movies on it. Mm-hmm. So Friday night we went and saw The Parent Trap, which was super fun. The original with Haley Mills. So it was lots and lots of fun, and we had a good time. We got to buy some food from a food truck, which was meh, and just chill out and hang out and watch the movie and get some knitting done. Although we both ran out of projects, I think we both got to a point.
Yeah, we didn't run out of knitting. We just ran out of knitting we could do without looking at it.
Yep.
And it was dark. You know, by the time the movie started, it was dark.
I needed to start some heel increases, and so it was hard to. I guess I could have put a
flap.
Stitch marker in. Oh, okay.
So yeah,
we both hit the heels of our socks and couldn't go much further.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Totally up to you.
I can go first.
Okay.
I am working on a sock out of Nomadic Yarns. And I forgot to email her to figure out what the new colorway name is. But, yeah. So, this is her sport weight base. It's one of my favorites. And she does great self-striping yarn. And I am knitting this on size 0 needles, 56 stitches, just zooming around and around and around. Hopefully I will make some progress on this week. I made some progress during the movie, but also I had a double baby shower to go to this week. So I made some progress then as well. I also made a little progress on my sweater, just a few rows, but it counts. This is Cloud Chaser by Heidi Kiermaier, and it is out of my hand spun, and I stopped at the end of a row for once.
Oh my god.
I know, but I only did like a couple rows, so
it counts.
Not a ton, but I did pull it out and get a little bit done. This was our last full week of school, so it was very chaotic and busy, and there was a night, Thursday night, where I came home and went to bed at 6 p.m. So, sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It is very busy for me the last couple weeks of school. So we have this coming week, and then I am done with school until August 1st. So, I will be full gangbusters on SSK stuff after that point. Speaking of SSK stuff, I will have the classes up by the time this goes live, and we will send out an email with information for class signups this week, as well as roommates and a general agenda. Yep, yeah. And extras. Things like t-shirts, etc. So my sweater is being knit on size 4 needles. And it's just going back and forth and stuck in it out of hand spun. So
very exciting.
I'm hoping to get it done by SSK.
I think it's a reasonable goal.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
It's almost 2 months.
Yeah, almost, not quite. I have some other things going on. I have some deadlines for some ply articles to get done, so that's getting the most of my focus this week. So secret stuff that you guys can't see, but you'll get to see in a year. Because that's how that works.
Hold your breath.
So that is it for me for works in progress when it comes to knitting. What are you working on?
Just watching my dog crawl through the struts of my desk, even though there's plenty of space around for her to walk.
She's very busy, yo.
So I sit when I'm downstairs in my living room where I watch TV and stuff and craft. I sit on a sofa, and to the left of me on this sofa is a big long chase. And so it's filled with stuff. Like, part of it is laundry, but a big part of it is like...
Because your laundry room's just around
it's
the
right
corner.
beside
It's
it,
right
yeah.
beside.
So it's like projects that I've mostly finished, or needles that I've stuck in a pile, or, you know, all sorts of stuff. So I was going through that yesterday and trying to just clean that area off. I didn't succeed, but I made a lot of progress, and I'm just going to take that as a win. But part of that is I found some sock tubes that I'd forgotten about. So
that one's pretty.
This is one of the ones that I'm working on finishing. This is yarn from C. Jane Knit, Jayne. I do not remember the colorway name because I just don't. I think it's stained glass something. I'll link to the shop in the show notes, and our show notes are on our website, which is TheKnitGirlls, 3Ls.com. But I couldn't find this color, so I don't know if she just doesn't dye it anymore. Maybe it's not in stock. I don't know. I mean, this is probably 8 years old, the yarn.
Pretty, though.
So they're going to be little shorty socks.
Nice.
So I like it. It's kind of like a neon day glow.
Yeah, but it's almost got like a... It does have a self-striping element to it. Are you using... You're not using the same...
I am using the same yarn for the cup.
Oh, interesting.
For the toes.
How it's
or the
pulling
heels.
Differently.
Yeah. Once you change the circumference, the stitch count around the whole sock is 72, but right now it's closer to like 64 because I started decreasing for the toe, and so it looks like that's the magic number if you want actual like striping, flashing.
Huh.
So, but our sock machine that we have, which is an Erlbacher Gearhart
Speedster.
We only have the 72
because that is what works for our feet.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't believe I still had the yarn with the sock tube, but I did. Yay me for never putting anything away apparently. So I'm working on that, and the other thing I'm working on is my sweater, top. Bagamoyo, which I showed last week.
You made good progress on that.
So this was last week, and I guess that's probably about 6 inches.
Michael's home.
Yeah. I just heard the door. So yeah, the pink stitch marker, that's where I was last week, and then I just put this one in when Laura told me she was on her way, so I knew this is where I am this week. So I've probably got another 2 inches or so before I start the separation for the front and the back. I like mine a little bit longer because I have a belly, and so that's going to stretch it out and shorten it a bit in the front. And I like it to hit more naturally at the high hip for me. So I'll add a little bit of length. I hope I have enough yarn because I wound 2 balls and took them with me when Laura was out of town when I was house sitting, pearl sitting. And I still can't find the other ball that I have that's caked, so it's probably under my sofa. It's probably rolled off and got knocked under the sofa or something.
Is that what started the big cleaning spree?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because when I can't find something, that's when I start cleaning.
Yeah, no. It's still on my list of things to find, so it'll get more urgent the closer I get to the end of the next skein that I have. So, yeah, so this is just stockinette, sort of arrowhead panel on the front and stockinette on the back. And the sleeves will be short sleeve stockinette as well. This is by Catherine Folkarth, and the link to this is in the show notes. And I'm using Elsbeth Level Silky Wool on 7s, I think. Yep, 4.5 millimeters. So that's what I'm working on.
Cool.
It's very glamorous and exciting.
Do you have any finished objects?
I do.
Oh my goodness, Buffy, your mommy's throwing phones at you.
My phone fell down. Sorry, Bo. Didn't mean to scare you. Come here, good girl. I didn't mean to scare you.
All right. Finished objects? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Oh, I do not.
Oh, okay.
So I knit a baby bonnet.
Crap. I forgot to show. I did have.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. This was what I was working on at the movie. So this is Knit Spin Farm in her Thesaurus Day colorway, and I finished the heel flap, and now I need to do a heel turn. So this was a club colorway.
I like that one lots.
Yeah, it was really pretty. I like it. So yeah, I haven't touched it since the movie. So that's why I forgot it. I'm sorry. You were talking about a bonnet that you finished?
Yep. I finished the Beloved Bonnet by Tin Can Knits out of some another Crafty Girl yarn that I showed y'all last week. But it already got gifted, and I forgot to take a picture. So...
just imagine the most adorable thing.
I thought it was pretty cute. And I think I have enough for a second one, so I might cast that on because I didn't have a lot of... stuff that was more, I don't know, that suited those people's personalities in my baby bin. So I probably need to do some baby knitting over the summer and add to the baby bin.
That's a good thing to, like, you know, if you're going to be spending a fair amount of time working on your sweater, then baby knits are a good, like, day-long break.
Yeah.
You know, take a break from your project and whip something out.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we'll end there. Are great for Stash Dash yardage, and Stash Dash starts this Friday. So, yeah. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of eggs in the air. Balls in the air.
Balls in the air, yeah. Eggs in the air. That's going to be the episode name. So I do have a couple of finished things, and these are along the same vein of I found the sock tubes. And
I like that one.
Needed to be finished. So this one of the socks was done. I have no idea what this is. I'm sorry. This is another very old sock yarn.
It looks like Amy Lee show almost.
It's not that, I can tell you, because I don't believe I own any of Amy Lee. But this one needed a toe and a heel. So these are more shorties. I prefer my socks to be relatively
Cannon Hand
short.
Dyed is her other name.
Yeah, no, it's not Cannon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is, but I'll see if I can find it in my Etsy history. No, I'm probably not going to do that. Let's just be honest. My Etsy history is like 40-something pages long. I'm not going to go through all that.
I wish you could search Etsy history.
I know, I wish you could. Like your purchase history.
Yeah. You used to be able to.
Even then, I'm not sure if you can, if that would make much of a difference. But yeah, so I put heels and toes in these. I did a sort of modified folded cuff, which is after the tubes are cranked and I split them, then I just fold, you know, an inch of it over and loop, like with a lot of slack. I loop a stitch of the active yarn at the top through.
You basically graft the stitches together, but using yarn instead of, like, using a sewing method versus a knitting method. Yeah.
It's probably a lot faster to do it on the actual sock machine. But this way I can do it sitting down and watching television versus standing up and over the sock machine. So anyway, that's one pair that I finished, and then this one I finished as well. These are some super shorties, just some little anklets. And this I think is coloring book, but I don't remember the color.
That is.
Is that an end that's not woven in?
Do you still have the rest of that skein?
Probably. There's a loose end here, and I don't know why. I'll have to figure that out. Yes, so these are coloring book. I want to say it's BMO. Is the colorway?
Nope, that's more teal.
Okay, well then I don't know. I don't have a lot of coloring recently. Book, so this one was already done. and I can tell you that because the heel color has got some sparkle in it, and then I couldn't find that, so I did the closest that I could find, and it was pretty close. So these I did ribbed cuffs instead of a folded cuff, and I've still got enough to do another set of shorties in this yarn. So
that was my secret question. That's why I asked you how much yarn left.
Yeah, I still have another, a fair amount of
tube cranks.
Of tube crank.
Oh, okay.
There was so much there was so much of it that if I were to create socks for me, I would end up with higher cuffed socks for me. I would end up with a really weird amount left. So I decided I would just do 2 short pairs instead of a long pair with a bunch left over. So
gotcha.
Because I don't like really high cuffs on my socks. Because I have immense calves, as someone told me. And
some random stranger at a book signing.
Yep. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, I have some spinning.
That is just shocking to me that you have some spinning.
Some of it's still wet. And then I decided that wetting more was a bad idea, so this one's still damp.
You decided that wetting more?
Wetting more.
Oh, okay.
Like soaking more.
Okay.
Was a bad idea because there was no way it was going to dry because it's 100 degrees humidity here today. So I set this out to dry at 8 a.m. this morning.
Wow.
And spun out all the water, and
damp.
It's still very damp. So
it's very pretty.
Yeah, this is Three Waters Farms. It's a Polware silk in the brocade colorway. I spun it fractally, which means I divided it into halves, and then one half I then divided again into thirds. So you can see there's a lot of barber pulling that's happening with that. And it is 350 yards, so it's a nice sport type weight yarn. So yeah, it might become one of the Isolde hats, the Musselburgh. I can combine it with something else for the other half and do that. I was going to make it an SSK door prize, but I wasn't super happy. I had some breaks in the plying, so...
Oh, I still think it's really pretty, but...
Yeah, it is very pretty, but it's not what it needs to be. And so this is the other skein that I finished. I did not give this one a bath, so it still has a lot of twist that is active in it, as you can see. So that's one thing to talk about. Before you give your skein a bath, the twist is going to be a lot more active, and then afterwards it's going to hang pretty straight. You lose, I think, around 20% of the twist in your bath, in a warm water bath. So,
but it evens it out.
Yeah, it evens the twist out. It does all sorts of things, kind of like blocking a finished garment does. And that makes it look nice. And also, if you've had, hands that are not the cleanest and stuff like that, it gets, even grease from your hands or oils, it gets rid of that as well. So this was a 3-ply. And I spun this specifically for baby hats. So to make more beloved bonnets. So I was looking for a DK weight. And I got 250 yards, which is pretty much bang on. And it is a 3-ply. So I got this fiber from Hip Strings at Flyaway. Spun some of it there, finished spinning it here. And so my first ply-away skein is done. This is Magically Delicious on a superwash Targhee. So it will poof up a little bit. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. It was basically this periwinkle with just little bits of purple and green in the braids, like little splotches. And I really like how that came out in my 3-ply. A lot of times when I split for a 3-ply, I flip one of the ends of the fiber so that it's going a different direction so that the colors don't line up, so it gives that a little bit more visual interest. So yeah, those are my 2 things that I have finished spinning wise. I have another thing, but it's secret. Spinning wise, I ran out of bobbins this weekend, so I had to do some flying. That's 5 bobbins cleared off right there, so that's good. But yeah, I actually cleared off 7 altogether this weekend, and I have a little bit more plying to do when I get back. I have the loop bump to ply, and then also the Hobbledehoy Batlings. I finished the second half of those, and they are ready to play as well. And the Interworld Cordale that I leave by my back door, the second half of that is well underway. I'm fractal spinning that.
She has a small sparrow there. She
I
doesn't
do.
just leave it by the back door, hoping for the spinning elves to take care of it.
The spinning sparrows. Yeah, I have a Daedalus sparrow that sits on my kitchen table with all my laundry that's piled up and folded.
Because it's closer to her kitchen table than it is to her sofa.
Yep, because I have a cabinet that has my washer and dryer in it.
Yeah.
So, it is quite wee and tiny. I'm not cool enough to have a whole laundry room. I wish I was. That is one thing.
All you do is fill it up with crap. Trust me.
Well, I really wish I had a utility sink more than anything else.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That is on the list. But anyway, that is it for me. What have you been listening to and reading?
I need to update the show notes, actually. I've been re-listening to the Tarot Sequence books by... let me take a look real quick. The third book just came out last week, and I'm re-listening. I'm on the second one by K.D. Edwards. It's sort of fantasy. It's if Atlantis was real and the people that lived on Atlantis had magical abilities, and then there was a war with them in like the 60s, and now they live on Nantucket Island.
Oh.
It's interesting. I like the premise of it, although the backstory of the character is truly horrible. But, so I'm re-listening to that. I'm on the second book now, and the third one I'll probably start this week, assuming that I get through it. And I started reading a book called Asperfell by Jamie Thomas, which it's fantasy, and I'm anticipating there's going to be some romance in it, but I'm about halfway through it, and it hasn't shown up yet, which is fine. But it won some awards in 2020, not last year, for fantasy. So I thought I would give it a try. Yeah, that's basically it. I've been rewatching Game of Thrones because I started it while I was at Laura's. Because
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. I started it while I was at Laura's, and of course I started the series. I can't not finish the series. I'm on the last season now.
Maybe a pressure washer?
Could be.
Yeah, that sounds like a pressure washer.
Occasionally, Michael will come through the living room and just scoff at the television because he's so butthurt about Game of Thrones. Aww. That it entertains me to no end, because he was like in it. He like spent hours on YouTube watching like backstories and like histories. And
did he
like,
listen to the books?
No. Well, he listened to one of them, I think. And I guess there's a new series coming out, or I don't know if it's new.
It's like a spin-off or a prequel or something.
Of the show. Something that what's his face wrote.
Oh, Robert Jordan?
No, George R.
Martin.
Yeah,
sorry, I just had a Wheel of Time moment.
And apparently it's supposed to be really good, but Michael's like, I'm not getting into it because he's going to die before he finishes it.
I mean...
And I'm like, you can't just enjoy what you do see or read? And he's like, no.
That's probably pretty fair.
But he was so into Game of Thrones, and then the last season happened, and they did a bunch of characters wrong, you know. They were trying to wrap it up, and they didn't do the greatest job doing it, but so he's so butthurt over it. It amuses me to no end. But yeah, you've been watching Ted Lasso?
Yeah, so my Apple Plus subscription runs out on Wednesday, and I'm in season 2. I'm on episode 3 of season 2. I'm not enjoying this episode. I'm not enjoying this season as much as the first season so far. But I think it's just because the first season was so good, and now it's hard to take those characters someplace else.
Yeah.
So I am on number 3, episode 3. There are 12 episodes, so I would have to watch like 4 a day. I don't know that that's going to happen. We'll see. They're short. I think they're only 30 minutes.
Hey,
But
is that noise scaring me?
yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry, baby.
We'll
girl.
see how it goes. And I'm still listening to the Alpha and Omega series by Patricia Briggs. So I'm on the second full novel length book, which is Hunting Ground. The narrator changed, which was interesting.
Mm.
And it's still fine. And I'm enjoying it. I just haven't had a ton of time to listen. But I did today some. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
She's shivering.
Oh, it's okay. Your
Loud
daddy's
noises
being
scare
mean.
her.
So hockey's over for me. The Penguins lost in Game 7, which made me sad. But there will be
It made
other
them
years.
sad too.
Yeah. And that's about it for me for entertainment. We have the Stash Dash coming up. It will be hosted on Discord, and it will be from May 27th till the end of August. There's a lot of chatter going on there. We are probably going to do a kickoff Zoom on Friday. So that will be fun. I'll be doing a kickoff Zoom on Friday.
I was like, nobody talked to me about this.
Yeah, Leslie. I knew Leslie will be working probably when I do it. So.
Oh yeah, that's possible.
But I will be off. But we'll go for early evening then, and we have our Patreon
Yeah, we need to schedule
events coming up on Sunday, and then we'll have a fail along probably.
It'll probably be the first week in June, honestly.
Well, we have Monday, Tuesday after that Sunday too. So
yeah.
Are you off for Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're off next.
I mean,
Monday.
I'm not guaranteed any day off, but my boss was like, "You're taking the day off." So.
Good. Excellent. All right. So we will send out notifications for that, and that's about it.
Yep.
For me, at least. Anything else for you?
No, I don't have anything else. I'm excited about finishing up some old stuff. So
yeah, SSKers, be aware of the emails coming out soon.
Yeah, this week. You should expect them this week. Also, we've got some open spots where people have had to pull out for various reasons, and we're going to go through the folks that are left on the wait list, but in all likelihood we are going to have some that we're going to open up as a first come first serve, and we'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Yep.
When we do that, so we'll give people several days up to a week of advance notice that it's going to happen. And the best way to find out about that probably is to follow Laura on Instagram.
Or the TheKnitGirlls on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I post there too for SSK
She's in charge of all the social medias is Laura. So it's a big job, but I want nothing to do with it. So.
I don't know that it's that big of a job. Anyway.
All right. Well, you guys have an awesome week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye y'all.